Good day, good day. When it's all said and done, the issue that needs to be addressed, whatever your pursuits in this particular demographic, is the issue of capacity. All right, or capacities. All right, this is not an issue of whether you are, how should I say? Let me say it this way. If you go in court and you aver and declare that that is not you, meaning the entity or whatever, or the citizen, that is not you. We are not one and the same, okay? You're going to get some pushback, disfavored pushback, right? Because in their eyes, you really don't know what you're talking about. However, if you speak their language, you may get a more desirable result. By that, I mean, it's clear that the judge, the law enforcement, the prosecutor, and other participants within the legal realm all act in a particular capacity. I mean, it's clear. All you have to do to evaluate what I'm saying is to basically pose the question to one of the actors, something to the effect of, is this capacity you're acting in a 24-hour participation? Is this something you do 24 hours a day? And if they're honest with themselves, they'll say, no, this is my job, and this is something I do for 8, 10, maybe 12 hours a day. Point being is there is a particular time at which their position stops, and they switch over or change over into an individual capacity, a private capacity, where what they do on their own time becomes separate and distinct from what they do when acting in their official capacity. This is the discussion that needs to be had. All else would be deemed, and more times than not is deemed, some type of extremist or sovereign citizen type of deal. We have to get down, we have to speak their language and convey our true intent, which is merely to determine which capacity we are acting in, and to make sure that our actions and our pursuits align with the particular capacity in which we are acting. Okay? That is key. I've given out several case law that covers this. Several holdings by the lower and higher courts. One of my favorite cases is Stilches versus Ridco Exterminating Company, where the Georgia court held that Stilches, acting in her individual capacity and in her representative capacity, are considered, quote, legally separate persons. They're legally different persons. Okay? To expound upon the relevance and importance, Stilches had sued the particular exterminating company because her husband died as a result of the chemical that was used. So, in the first instance, Stilches sued in her individual capacity. Well, for whatever reason, she did not win, and she lost the case. But that is not fatal to the point that I need to drive home today. The point is that she sued in her individual capacity and lost the case. Now, she appealed and came after the exterminating company once again for a second time. And the exterminating company, in their defense, essentially said, wait a minute, you can't do that. You already lost, Stilches. This is res judicata stare decisis, or stare decisis. And so you're barred. You already lost in your individual capacity. And so, long story short, the court had a job to do to determine if, in fact, Stilches is capable, I should say, to litigate this matter again. But this time, she came in her, what's known as her representative capacity. And so, inevitably, the court ruled and said that, well, Stilches in her individual capacity, as I previously stated, and Stilches in her representative capacity, individual versus representative, are legally separate persons, legally different persons. And they went on to hold that she could again bring this matter, because if legally separate, they are not one and the same in the eyes of the law. The law sees the individual as separate and distinct from the representative. What is the representative? If you work for someone, you put on their uniform, you take their identification badge, and you subject yourself to their policies, their rules, their guidelines. And when you are out in the public during your work hours, you represent the company that you work for. You represent the founders of the company. You represent the president of the company. And you are on their time, and they are subsequently supposed to pay you. You are acting in a representative capacity. You are wearing their uniform, their badge, as it were. And you do that for whatever the agreed time span is, the term, as it were. 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, whatever you agreed to do. And so, but once that time is up, you take off that badge, you take off the uniform, and you are no longer bound to the you are no longer bound to the contractual stipulations, policies, rules of that organization and that company. In your home, your boss's rules do not apply. And so that is why you in your individual capacity is separate and distinct from you in your representative capacity. And so this, again, is in closing, this is the discussion we need to be having. This is the understanding we need to have. And until we speak in their language while averring and declaring your rights, until you do that, they're going to look at you as incompetent. This has nothing to do with natural law, not when you're dealing in the legal realm, the legal sphere. The things that are natural are inconceivable and imperceptible to the legal industry. Remember, there are two separate spheres, the jural and the moral sphere. You just have to know that, and you have to act in accordance. All right, now you've been made free. The question is, what are you going to do with it? Take a look at these case laws I give you, and when you know better, you're going to do better. All right, if you have any other questions, make sure you look in the description of this and all the other videos for more information on how you can contact us. If you need a consultation, hit us up, and we can talk individually about your situation. All right? Until next time, we'll see you. Courtney signing out.